Drop a like in the next 5 seconds if you want a free Season 3 Battle Pass granted off Epic Games to thank us for our patience. Do you want a free gift or cosmetic from the item shop?
Yes.
Well, you're in luck as I'm now gifting new or old subscribers every day, so make sure to hit the big red button and also let me know in the comments your Epic Games ID so I can send you your free gift. And also, if you subscribe right now, you will be our 1.7 millionth subscriber. Also, don't forget to use code FriendlyMachine in the item shop when buying anything or gifting anybody else, and let me know down below in the comments if you have done this so I can heart it to show my appreciation for supporting the channel. With the release of every new Fortnite season, we're anticipating ultimately 2 trailers, the Battle Pass and cinematic one, to confirm our suspicion, or perhaps leaks that have surfaced beforehand, so we can then reflect and say, I was right, or I was wrong all along. Despite Chapter 2 Season 2 now set to be the longest season we've seen in Fortnite's whole history, including Chapter 1, and obviously longer than our prior first 100-day plus season Chapter 2 Season 1, with this third extension initially with the season set to end on April 30th, then extended to June 4th, then June 4th to June 11th, and now finally, as stated in this article, June 11th to June 17th, we're still largely anticipating not only the first storyline related event of this season to unfold called The Device that's also been extended, but also the first storyline related event of this chapter or 2020, the year as a whole. And this is huge for Fortnite. As you guys know, the last storyline related event, as just mentioned briefly anyways before 2020, was in October 2019 with the end event sucking us into this black hole, which was directly linked or allowed the cinematic trailer to unfold or flow off this occurrence. With this said, in today's video, with new Battle Pass characters being involved in these cinematic trailers, or the cinematic trailers as a whole being linked to the live event that occurs days before the season ends, which has now been extended, called The Device, the live event until June 15th, 2020, we're going to be going over not only a ton of leaks and hints officially put out there by Epic Games, or that will make us kick ourselves considering they've been right in front of our eyes for months now this entire time. However, we're also going to be showcasing what the live event will look like in the most realistic early form, and some cinematic trailers not only officially put out there by Epic Games teasing what's upcoming, but also some realistic concepts based off the leaks we've already seen surface. So make sure you're sticking around and watching the full video today if this sounds good to you, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. Quickly before we move any further into the video, I'd just like to remind you guys that if we can hit 50,000 item shop supporters using code FriendlyMachine before the release of Season 3, I'm going to be doing a huge 100 Battle Pass gifting spree to my subscribers, so make sure to enter the code now, because if we hit 50,000 item shop supporters, you're 100 times more likely to have the Season 3 Battle Pass gifted personally off me. So initially, the first thing we need to cover, being perhaps the most important to set the groundworks for today's video, I'm sure you're all aware of this list of leaks messaged to a known YouTuber called Tabor Hill by a reliable source that not only predicted the end event, the shut-off of the Fortnite servers and fishing upon Chapter 2 Season 1 launching, but now has came out with the following information about Season 3. The interesting thing about this list of leaked information is that 2 of these things have already been implemented to our game, currently before the release of Season 3, being Party Royale, a brand new mode or innovative feature to allow us to witness concerts and live performances in Fortnite in a designated set area, and the blue phone booths contained within Party Royale that allow us also to change our skins or customize what we have on our loadout in Locker. With 2 of these things already being confirmed to be true or added to the game, this actually backs up the validity of the rest of the things contained on this list, especially one thing, the flare gun weapon that's supposedly going to be added directly as Season 3 initially launches. Many of you may be wondering, considering in the cinematic or Battle Pass trailer we at least see some of the weapons new of which are implemented shown for the first time, will we see the flare gun? Well, we've actually seen this in trailer form already due to a Fortnite short film being released around the time of the World Cup way back in Chapter 1 Season 9 that seemed like forever ago, and despite many animations being released just for fun around this time, not only introducing us to the voices of some of our Fortnite skins, but ultimately how they came to be or were formed, they released one that stood out from the rest with a brand new Jonesy variant stranded on what seemed to be an island surrounded by water, perhaps a flooded area, and more interestingly, oh look, he goes to reach for a box saying flare gun and pulls the weapon exactly how it's going to look out of it, in Chapter 2 Season 3. Believe it or not, even before this Fortnite Shorts film was released, this was teased right in front of our eyes the entire time on the Fortnite puzzle, as this scene of the battle bus flying over this stranded small island with Jonesy contained on it in a new variant was drawn by Jonesy himself, perhaps predicting the future of what was to unfold literally months down the line, if not a year from then. How we know this directly correlates to Chapter 2 Season 3 being very random for them to obviously tease so in advance from Season 9 a particular upcoming Fortnite or future season is because of the fact not only have we been leaked to a ton of information pointing toward all of the map being flooded, eventually going down, revealing us to new cities, but also Sony confirmed these leaks of this new upcoming underwater or flooded theme with these new upcoming Season 3 game icons that shouldn't have been made public this early on. This, for those of you who don't know, will replace what we currently see of Midas and our current Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass skins. Here is another page of this image contained where information can be read, and also here is a better, more so bigger look at this image in full screen form that most interestingly, despite indicating a mass flood in the next Season 3 cinematic trailer, contains the island already shown on this particular Pro-Am Fortnite Shorts, which also directly correlates and links this, despite the flare gun, to Chapter 2 Season 3. If you thought the correlation was over in terms of this trailer or Pro-Am Fortnite Short to Chapter 2 Season 3, you were wrong, as this initially was intended to be extended at least until the 11th of June 2020. As written on the box is this date itself, but due to unprecedented things and movements that should be heard in the world, such as Black Lives Matter, it got extended unexpectedly furthermore until June 17th, when the season will release 2 days after the device live event unfolding itself. As we previously concluded, considering many people will have forgotten by now that each storyline related live event directly correlates or allows or sets up the next events in the cinematic trailer to unfold, this makes complete sense of why the device or Doomsday Live Event was pushed back each time this season. Next upcoming was extended until, and now with us having a final 2-day gap after the event occurs itself for developments to manifest in-game or grow more so in hype of the next season, we now realistically just need to take a look at what the Doomsday event itself will entail to give us a better understanding of what these small Season 2 final day developments after the event occurs will be. Initially, what we're expecting to see now, omitted above the agency as Donald Mustard teased in his bio where this location is going to be set of the event taking place, is the countdown timer itself in-game. Retail 8 not only managed to pull this into the game early, but the destruction of the agency that we're expecting to see either just before the event or when it occurs itself, due to the Doomsday device not only being pulled into our map but activated and then causing all the natural disasters that are yet to unfold. And speaking of how the agency will end up looking like this due to the activation of this Doomsday device, we have an early showcase now that I'm going to be showcasing in its raw form that doesn't take long, but perhaps will give us an insight of not only where to look during this event, but where to stand so we're not caught in the crossfire of all this damage or destruction happening. Believe it or not, this is not only a good indicator of what the event will officially look like live, happening once only in-game, because of the fact it's set at the agency and affects the storm, which we can currently see already affected and leaked to be affected more so in this loading screen when we go into the device LTM stating, can the storm be broken? But with the storm being affected more so, or the weather conditions, this may largely affect other natural occurrences or weather patterns, such as the water levels, which are shown to rise even in this pre-live event Creative Island showcase. Also, speaking of this loading screen, we can see a new character that perhaps will be newly introduced for the first time in the next Battle Pass or cinematic trailer, being called the Engineer, that we very vaguely can see reflected in this glass. Now, before we move on to an official cinematic trailer based off all these leaks and occurrences of the Doomsday event and what will be happening because of this event occurring, the final correlation ultimately confirming from Donald Mustard himself, as he's implied or basically stated that the agency will be where everything interesting's going down when this timer ticks down to 0, is the change in his banner to this beach. Also then, validating everything we've gone over in regards to the PlayStation 4 leak of Chapter 2 Season 3 and this early Pro-Am showcase teasing Season 3 way before its time or release. And with everything said now, I'm going to leave you guys with a cinematic trailer made by Trimix that's very realistic based off all the things we've already said expected to be happening, so I hope you all enjoy. If you do, make sure to slap a like in this video down below and subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on, and without any further ado now, let's roll that cinematic clip.